what I'm about to share with you today is not something that I learned in college of going to school for 5 years. It's not something I necessarily learned in business. It was actually because of dealing with the fact that I lost my business 10 years ago. The guy I sold it to stopped paying me, and I was about $250,000 in debt. And thank God I actually got involved in a home-based business, and I learned this information. And as an accountant, it opened my eyes to be able to help people understand why you truly would be brain dead not to own a home-based business or a business for that matter. Most people have no clue that the average American will pay more in taxes in their lifetime than what they will on food, clothing, housing, and transportation combined. That was shocking to me when I learned that information. On top of that, the average American is actually going in debt $4,000 a year. The American household is going in debt $4,000 a year to work. And I'll share with you those statistics and help you understand. But first and foremost is, why hasn't anyone told us this information? See, we were all taught to go to school, get good grades, and go get a good job. And then we find out 30 years later that there's not enough in retirement, that we can't retire. And the last time I checked, I haven't found a good job that I wanted to do for 30 years, unless there was making massive impact. And so here's the statistics that changed everything for me. It was that the average household in America makes $61,000 a year. They'll pay on average of $12,000 in taxes. So their take home is $49,000. The problem with that in America is that the average cost of living is $53,000. That means that the average family is going in debt $4,000 a year to work 40 hours a week, 50 weeks a year to take 2 weeks paid vacation. And it should not be this way. And so I went on a mission to share with people and help them understand, what can we do? How can we save money? How can we keep more of our hard-earned money? Because it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And thank God I got involved in a home-based business 6 years ago. I was in a really bad place mentally because I'd lost my business and I was scared to death to fail again. And I realized, thankfully, Tony Robbins shared something with me and helped me understand, is that if you allow yourself to be a failure and don't try again, you will always be a failure. And I didn't want that for my children. So I did over 900 tax returns for people that were involved in home-based business, people who were just W-2 employees the year before, and then what it did for that household was save them on average of $4,000 to $8,000 a year. So I went on a mission to start sharing this information. Here's the problem. Credit card debt, average of $6,000 per credit card holder. Student loan debt is $37,000 for every student. And last I checked on usdebtclock.org, the average citizen was in debt $82,000 per person for every man, woman, and child. I'm not talking about taxpayers. Taxpayers are $217,000. So how do we fix this problem? See, I want people to understand that there is a solution. You just need to have some sort of home-based business. You've got to have a plan B. I'm not telling you to quit your job today. What I'm telling you is you've got to find something on top of what you're currently doing, not to make extra money, but to be able to attempt to earn an income so that you can have access to the wealth system in this country. So why do I think you'd be brain dead by not having a home-based business? See, Warren Buffett says that never depend on one income. You should always make an investment to make a second stream. And so most of you in the room, maybe you don't want to be a multimillionaire. That's not what I set out to be. And that's not what everybody wants. But what we do want is to be able to have security. We want to be able to have the things that we need for our family. We want to be able to provide a legacy. And then on top of that, we need to be able to provide an impact. Well, today we're living in a world, in a country that 19.5 million people are without a job. I'm sure they didn't expect that in March of 2020, that they may lose their jobs. 40 million people were without a job. But see, here's what I know. The great thing is, as an accountant of 19 years, I get to see every industry. I get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And what I see with home-based business owners is they are thriving. And they are not scared that they're going to lose their job today or they're not going to be able to go to the office and work tomorrow. What I'm seeing is they are happy. They are making money because they've learned to use technology in order to grow a business. See, the world is rapidly changing, and here's the thing. We must find ways to adapt to that or go backwards. And that's not what any of us want. So I want you to understand there are two tax systems in our country. And this is why I'd say you'd be brain dead not to own a business. The two tax systems are one. Most people think it's the wealth system. Most people think it's you've got the wealthy and then you've got the poor. That's not correct. The first system was created and designed to steal wealth away, and that is the W-2 employee tax system. And you can knock it, you can get mad at me, but I want you to understand this is the way our economy works. The second system is the business owner tax system. And let me explain it to you so you understand. Business owners, we create economy. We are selling every day of our life. We are then turning around and putting money back into our business, which is good for the economy, which is also good for the IRS, which is also good for the government agencies. And then on top of that, we're hiring employees. And employees will always pay the lion's share of money because if there is not enough money in taxes, if we have to pay all of our money in taxes, guess what? There are no employees. So that's the way the system works. And why do we as business owners get massive tax deductions? Because 70% of jobs are created by small to medium-sized businesses. And if we don't have the tax deductions that we need as business owners, then we can't make it and we can't hire more and more and more employees to help them get off of unemployment. See, here's what I want you to know, and this shocked me, but this is where me, my husband, and my 6 children were 4 years ago. 46% of Americans don't have an extra $400 to their name, and that's exactly where we were. 69% of Americans don't have an extra $1,000 to their name. And we took a chance and we started a business. That business changed everything for us. It allowed me to get, one, the mindset that I needed in order to grow my accounting practice back again. It allowed me to be able to market to the people that I needed to market to. And it allowed us to grow a multi-million-dollar-a-year accounting practice. But the thing that I'm most excited about and the thing that I love every single day is we're able to provide 9,000 servings of advanced immune support to children in need, because we have a social business, and I'll share that with you in just a second and how that works. And see, here's the thing. I want you to understand, how are people supposed to get ahead when they're constantly paying almost half of every dollar that they make in taxes? 48% of U.S. families by age 55 have $0 in retirement. And honestly, let's think about it. Working an entire lifetime should produce enough income for you to be able to retire. So where's all the money going? Here's the thing, 40% is going to taxes, at least. 40% of every dollar you make if you're a W-2 employee. Property taxes, Social Security taxes, let's add them all up. You've got state, federal, local taxes, you've got income taxes, sales tax, use tax, excise tax, gift tax, and the list continues to go on. So here's my aha moment. I'll share it with you. I was taught that home-based business was not legitimate. I was taught as an accountant that if you don't have a brick and mortar location, you have nothing. That was a lie. For 9 years, we built up an accounting practice from our home with our 6 children, homeschooling them, spending time with them, and built a multi-million-dollar company. But here's the thing. Here's how I figured out the aha moment. It was not from me doing it. It was someone asking me to prepare a tax return. They were not very successful in their home-based business, but guess what? Because the husband was an engineer, the wife was a nurse, and they were paying in taxes, we were able to offset the money that they spent by building a home-based business. But on top of that, now that they became a business owner, they were able to redirect their living expenses and turn those into business expenses. That saved that family $4,100 that year, and they were actually ended up using the product of the company that they were involved in, and they took that to the next level. So they saved money, and they made more money. That hit me. That was huge. I realized doing 900 tax returns, I could save these people $4,000 to $8,000 a year. And every day of my life, we spend sharing with people how to free up $5,000 to $50,000 every 30 minutes of every single day. It has become my life's mission. See, people don't understand that all businesses started from their home. They started with an idea. Google, Microsoft, Apple, they all started in their garage. And people don't even think about that. So here's what I want to give you. I want to provide you with some hope today. It's one thing that I did not realize. I had a couple come to my house a couple years ago now. The husband made $85,000 a year. The wife made $55,000 a year. They'd gotten a pay increase, and they thought they were actually getting ahead. Well, here's the thing. They'd gotten this pay increase of $35,000. They wanted to know how much money it was going to cost them in taxes, and we determined that they were only going to get back $13,000 of the $35,000 pay increase they received. They were going to pay in an extra $22,000 in taxes. So while they were there, I said, you know what? What if one of you stayed at home? Let's figure that one out, because 40% of every person in America making under $40,000 a year lost their job this year. So I think it's very important for people to understand that they could actually stay at home, that one person could stay at home in the household if they wanted to. So I took away the $55,000 a year, and guess what I determined? Out of that $55,000 a year that they were making, only $21,000 a year, or $1,800 a month, was actually coming back into their household. That was huge for me. So I said, you know what? You would be better off, instead of working full time, being away from your family 40, 50, 60 hours a week, driving to work, buying lunches, buying dinner out to eat, you would be better off with one of you staying at home, earning $1,000 a month in some sort of home-based business, network marketing. I don't care what it is. Whether you want to be a blogger, you want to be a speaker, it doesn't matter. You just need something. And so we figured it out, and she was better off to make $1,000 a month in a home-based business because, see, here's the thing. She was now able to take advantage of things that she was already spending money on, considered living expenses. And she was able to redirect those living expenses and turn those into business expenses. So it wasn't extra money that she was spending. Now she's able to write off her meals and her mileage and her cell phone and her internet, business use of home. She can hire her kids to work for her. Travel is a tax deduction. Continuing education. Medical bills can be 100% tax deductible as a fringe benefit, and so can medical insurance. So taking the things that you're already spending money on and redirecting those are called business expenses now. So they were better off making $1,000 a month. The $25,000, I knew that they would have at least in deductions that they could offset. And see, on paper, they're showing a loss. And the IRS allows you to take advantage of tax deductions so you can build a business. Because again, 70% of all business owners or small to medium-sized business owners create the jobs. So if you understand that, what are tax deductions that you can take advantage of? See, I want to share with you a couple that are really big for me. One, cell phone, internet, medical bills, medical insurance. Yes, those are tax deductible. They're considered fringe benefits, and they're not standard deductions. 96% of Americans get no benefit from medical bills or medical insurance or mortgage interest or taxes or charitable contributions for that matter. I want to help you offset that and help you understand that they can become business expenses. So a couple that really are passionate for me are hiring your kids. You can actually pay your kids to work for you. And when you do that, you can pay them $12,000 a year because that's the standard deduction in our country. Your children are entitled to work for you. They can be personal assistants. I have a daughter who is a tax preparer. She's amazing at it. I have children who go with me to every single event that I do. They're getting the personal growth and development that they need to go take it to another level, but that personal growth and development is continuing education. And that becomes 100% tax deductible for our business because we've hired our kids. So we can pay them $12,000 a year. They don't have to pay taxes on the money. I don't have to pay taxes on the money because I don't have to pay FICA, federal, state, or unemployment taxes because they're my children. That is something called income shifting, and it's perfectly legal, moral, and ethical in our country. So now you take 6 children that we have. Those 6 times $12,000 a year, that's $72,000 a year in a tax deduction that I'm entitled to take. That saves me almost $28,000 a year in taxes. See, I want you to understand that you can have the things that you want. You just have to figure out how to decrease your taxes, which is your number one expense. And here's the biggest one. This is my favorite. This is why I get up every single morning and share what I do. Because I feel like you have to help enough people get exactly what they want for you to automatically get what you want. And we developed something called a social business. And what a social business is when you combine your passion and your profits. You don't get up every day to just make money. You get up every day to change the world. And that's exactly what we do. And I developed this concept is if we teach more how to save more so that they can have more, they can live more, and then they can give more. See, that's the true meaning of life. Fulfillment comes from giving. Grateful. I'm so grateful today for what we get to do because we take that, we help other people have more, live more, and then be able to give more, and then we can then nourish more because we can provide fresh drinking water for children. We can provide nutrition, advanced immune support for children in need, for medically fragile children. And that has changed everything for us. And then on top of that, we free children from sex trafficking. So it's top level, meaning that for every dollar that walks in our door, we give a serving of advanced immune support to children in need. It doesn't matter how much our expenses are. That's what we give. That is part of our giving model. And because of that, because we give from a gross income level, that becomes 100% tax deductible as a cost of goods sold item. And I would love to share with you the fact of the matter is that we give twice as much as we keep every month. There is nothing more fulfilling than knowing that abundance is always there for you. If you give it, it will continue to come back to you. And that has changed everything. We have now, as of last Friday, we hit 3 million servings of advanced immune support to children in need. That is the thing that I'm most proud of in my entire life. And every day I know that we're going to provide at least 9,000 children a day, but I'm not stopping there. We need to get to 50,000 children a day because every 6 seconds a child dies of malnutrition. 8,640 children a day die of malnutrition, and we can end that if we help other businesses come together and not only make a massive impact, but combine their passion and their profits. Along the way, we can save money in taxes. See, the U.S. government allows you to use your losses against any other income. So when you understand that, you have to find a business. You have to find something that you're passionate about so you can go share that with people so you can take advantage of the tax deductions. And the more money you start making, legally, morally, and ethically, you can actually keep more of that hard-earned money. I'll share it to you this way so you understand it. As a W-2 employee, you make money. You get no options. You get no decisions on how much money you pay in taxes. And what's left over, hope to God you buy all your needs and your wants. Whereas a business owners make money. They get to buy a lot of their needs and their wants, aka now their business expenses, and then from there what's left over, you end up paying taxes on that money. So don't be brain dead. I want you to go out. I want you to find something that you're passionate about and go share that with the market. So that's my suggestion. Find a home-based business. Profit, it could be a product, it could be a service. It doesn't matter. Decreasing taxes is your fastest way to wealth. It's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep. So what's your plan B? Go out and find one today so that you can have a more relaxing and less taxing life.